Here are 9 things that you should understand about life. Number 1, even if you trust someone, keep some things to yourself. The less people you have in your business, the less drama you have in your life. Number 2, if you want to build something worthwhile, be ready for criticism, but accept both compliments and criticism, because it takes both the sun and rain to grow a flower. Number 3, your mental health is way more important than your career ever will be. If taking care of your mental health means letting someone down, then let someone down. Number 4, you become an unstoppable force when you realize you can do it alone. So don't be afraid to walk alone, and don't be afraid to like it. Number 5, be okay with people not liking you. Most don't even like themselves. Remember, people don't have to like you, and you don't have to care. Number 6, not everything will go according to plan. Always be ready to adapt. Sometimes unexpected events can be a life blessing. Number 7, you can always choose to be happy, no matter what happens in your life. Being sad is never an option. The key to being happy is to know that you have control over what you accept and what you let go of. Number 8, don't waste your time stressing about things you can't control. One of the happiest moments in life is when you find the courage to let go of what you cannot change. And number 9, choose a direction and make sure you surround yourself with the right people who have the strength you lack. With the right vibes and the right people, it's easy to create something magical. And remember, you can't do epic shit with basic people.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, hello, guys. This is show 2 today, right? I was just kind of doing other research, other paperwork, all this other stuff, and I get a call that there's a press conference on Carly Russell. And I am dying, as you can possibly imagine, trying to figure out what is going on. Usually when they have a press conference, it's usually after they make an arrest. This might bode well with the possibility of why they had a party at the house on Sunday. Maybe it was a going away party. I don't know. I wish was there with her horn. Yeah, I don't think Alabama is quite ready for Bullhorn Betty, especially as hot under the collar as I was on this one. And this one was just so petty that it wouldn't have been. We have to have purpose. Right? It's not for everyone in every case, even as frustrated as we are. I would have been, if I was out there, it would have been just investigating and reporting. There would be no bullhorn, not even, I might brandish it as like a prop, but I would never use it. This didn't require that by any stretch of the imagination. That is for, when we've got to get, when there's an injustice, a major injustice. And that is the only time. It is a weapon, right? It is a lethal weapon. All right, this has to be used with responsibility. You know, it's not for every case. It's not for every time. This is at, you know, worst case scenario. This is like DEFCON 5 or 1 or 0. I don't know which way it goes, but you know what I mean. It's like the worst case scenario. When this comes out, that means all other options have failed. It's not that this is the first thing we go to. This is when everything else fails, this is the last resort to get the attention necessary for whatever the cause may be. Political, victims, doesn't matter. Like I say, I think protesting is absolutely the most American thing anybody can do. We see it all the time on whatever it is. Oh, Betty, use it. It is a pretty bullhorn, though. I gotta tell you, it is a pretty bullhorn. When the horn comes out, it's very serious. So you darn right. You know, I do. And I try to say, you know, I only use it in worst case scenario. Everybody's like, this bullhorn, Betty, oh my God, she's going there. She's going to use the bullhorn. She's going to protest. No, like, don't do that. Like, I think I pulled the bullhorn out, like maybe, I think it was 3 cases out of all the cases we've covered. We've covered a lot of cases at this point, right? 3 times. Yeah, I think we don't overuse it. We use it as needed, and that's where we're going to leave it. We use it as needed. If you got a bullhorn, use it, baby. I need to start taking some of these things and making shirts with them. Now that is a funny shirt. Oh Lord, that is a funny shirt. So we're just going to be sitting here waiting. I'm still looking up all the people we kind of need to make sure that we have the right press conference. Sorry, let me turn this off. This is the old one. This is not this one right here, but it at least gets me to the right page, because people that were there are most likely going to be. This is interesting. I wasn't expecting to find this whenever I was looking at, but it's pretty interesting. Might as well talk about it, right? Well, I'm still looking for the live broadcast, which I think it'll be on this one. Here it is. It says UAB. Now, remember, UAB is the hospital that Carly went to, but they apparently have a program. So this is pretty interesting. They celebrate their first live birth from a uterus transplant program. Now, I'm sorry, I don't know what that means, but I hope it's not like, you know, Frankenstein stuff, but it might be. I don't know. I can't with all the medical stuff. I just can't. I can't. So we're just going to sit here and wait until it comes on. It's supposed to come on at 4:00, but they're in a time zone just slightly ahead of us. So they're 1 hour ahead of us, and we'll be, hey, John Davis, how you doing? Did they have another press conference? They're having one today at 5, from my understanding. So we're just going to be on the lookout for it. It was very quick. All of a sudden, boom. We have a press conference. It was literally that quick. I'm sure it's spreading like wildfire. I wasn't honestly going to even go live. I was going to wait until after the press conference, and then I was going to go live. And then I'm like, you know, since I already had several people already reaching out to me to see if I was going to go live on this channel, I just decided to go live. I was going to actually wait because I know everybody's going to be, you know, on the larger channels, which is fine. But we'll be breaking that down after it's over with anyways. So I'm interested in that. And I'm interested in what's going on. I think she's arrested. I honestly believe that she either had to turn herself in. I don't know why I believe this. I just do. It's either that or they're going to tell us they're not going to file charges against her. And honestly, with the money, I really don't know. But it could be because there's a lot of outrage right now, because we're hearing that fund that was created from Crime Stoppers for her, we're hearing that they're not returning any of that money. And I think, and there's an outcry about that, wanting to know, well, what do you plan on doing with all this money? Like, it was earmarked for a specific purpose. And if we remember what they did to Summer Wells, they ended up donating that money to like a nonprofit that dealt with kids. I can't remember exactly where it went to. So it might just be, has nothing to do with Carly yet. Maybe just letting us know that the investigation is still ongoing. They don't know anything about it at this time. But, and explain what's going on with the money. They may be doing this because there's been an overwhelming amount of calls because, like I said, there's a lot of people upset wanting to know where this money's going. And our government bodies have to be transparent to the people, especially people that donated. I mean, it was over $63,000. And granted, it's probably a lot of small, but there's some people that probably put up some significant amounts of money that they were not expecting to lose. They were expecting to go to a specific cause. So it could be over that, but I really kind of have it in my gut feeling like their investigation is over. They probably have already talked to people. They probably already know where she has been, and they're going to be advising us potentially that she's either been arrested or they're not planning on arresting her at this time. Or they've built the case and they're handing it over to the state attorney. That's kind of where I expected to go. I know it's like there's no concrete clue, but we don't know what this is about. All we know is that they said they're having a press conference and it's related to Carly Russell. And I think it might be one of these things where the story has really gotten big and it hasn't. I believe they will give her a pass, but she should be arrested. So I agree that is possible. I agree that is possible. But I think this is where I have a problem, is because she did make a statement. And I'm wondering if there was a federal agent there that she made a statement to when she went and said that she was abducted by the orange hair. At the end of the day, it's kind of, in my opinion, somewhat, I have to think that they would be getting some pressure from the federal government because they had to utilize resources that could have been used somewhere else. I mean, if the federal government really wasn't involved, I would probably say that it would be up to the discretion of the court. But give me just a second, guys. Sorry about that. It happens. I never answer the phone when I'm on this, but this was an important call. So I apologize about that. That should not happen again. But I'm here. I'm just waiting for 5 o'clock. I'm hoping that somebody will, I'm just hoping that somebody will, set up their live soon. I'm not sure what the heck why it's doing this. Okay. I'm having some technical issues as well, so it's kind of sucks. But I'm pretty sure because this was so brand new, like nobody knew about it. It was like, boom, they're having a press conference. And it's like they gave everybody like an hour to be prepared for the press conference. Like a little over an hour, but not much time. Usually press conferences, we have several hours to prepare for it. It wasn't like that with this one. That's why I kind of think something happened. So they must have just made an arrest within the last little bit, or had her come in and did the interrogation and then arrested her there. I don't know. Whenever I start hearing about these press conferences just coming like that, I feel it to me feels like it's an arrest, because if they weren't going to arrest her and just going to give her a free pass, they could have just said, hey, we're going to have a press conference at 9 a.m. tomorrow. That would have given everybody an opportunity to get there. Like, this is, quick and done. I think because this is blown up so big, like, this case is kind of taken on a life of its own, even after she was found, because everybody's really upset about what she did. And, we're all feeling like she's, starting to try to capitalize off this horrible event. And it cost people thousands upon thousands of dollars. It cost the county, tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars, along with the state and the federal government, all over this woman. I don't know. I really just don't think they're giving her a pass on this. I keep looking at this, and everybody thinks that law enforcement is they're at some point, especially if she's got no bargaining chip. It's not like she's got this, this information on some guy, she's not going to be swapping I don't see them giving her a pass. She has nothing to trade in reality. But this just really I don't know, because if they don't do something with this high profile case, guys, there's no way they can't arrest her. That even if it's a misdemeanor, they have to arrest her on something. I don't see any way around it. And listen to this, like Trenton Lair Camp. Remember that? The South Carolina, Wayne County, South Carolina, another crazy crackpot town, much like Chatham County. Just the people are great, but the government sucks. They're corrupt. Everybody, as long as you got the money, you can do whatever you want type of town. And the people that injured this Trenton Lair Camp almost killed him. Like, when we went down there and basically, pressured law enforcement to do their job, like been at this house, like, I don't know, double digit times, like 8 to 11 times, just in the last few months. And it's like, and the parents did nothing about it. So it's like, we were demanding answers, and they finally ended up going and arresting. I'm live. Oh, okay. I'm not muted. Hold on. Let me mute. All right. Olivia's late to the game. She's like, there's a conference. I'm like, Olivia, I'm live. So there is definitely a conference. So we're just waiting for everybody to kind of tell us where to go, I guess, is the best possible. Let me see if I can get one more feed coming in here to see if I can get it to work. I don't know what's going on, or I'm pretty sure all the local news will be there. So I'm kind of just looking into the local news right now. There we go. Okay, I got at least four local sources right now that I'm monitoring. No, 1, 2. I have 4 or 3. I have either 3 or 4 local sources I'm kind of monitoring right now. As we go in here, if you guys hear it that it starts, please let me know. Mods, I know you guys monitor everything behind the scenes for me. So if you guys see it, this should be going on. It should be starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're about 29 minutes away from the press conference. Let's read some of the comments that we have in here. I know sometimes I don't get an opportunity to read them. Heretic. Heretic. I told you I'm bad. Heretic. Is that right? Heretic. Did I have it right or not? Heretic in the hill. He mom is loaded. She's the one the leading real estate agent. Oh yeah. No, I know that the mama is like the breadwinner. You know, but she's also the kind of a coddler. Like, you know, I understand that parents want to do the best for their children, but you need to make them earn it. If you keep giving them everything, they don't have the sense of money. They don't have the sense of responsibility or the respect for the item that you're giving them. If they have to earn it, they'll take care of it. How many times as parents went over backwards to go buy them that couple $100 gift that they just had to have for Christmas, and they play with it for 30 days, maybe 45 days, and you never see the toy again. It gets shoved under the bed. It gets shoved in the closet. Now that same person wants that item and has to go work a whole month or 2 months to save the money to get that item. How long do you think that they'll use it? They'll use it a heck of a lot longer than just 30 or 45 days, just my opinion. And that's the difference. But let me not start preaching over here. I'm turning into Mama Bullhorn. No, Mama Bullhorn talks about history, right? Mama Bullhorn talks about history. Annette the Crow, I honestly think she didn't think it would get as far as it did. I do agree with that. I do believe that she did not anticipate, where are my tissue? That she did not anticipate this to get as big as it did. Did I not bring tissue in here? Give me a sec. The bad thing is with these rushed lives, I forget everything. Like I didn't have a cup. I do have coffee at least, but I think I don't even know if like I might have 1 cup of coffee in the coffee pot. I'm just not prepared. Oh Lord. Are they having a press conference today? Jamie Owenby? Yes, that is correct. We just got a notification just about an hour ago that there's going to be a press conference at 5 p.m. So I'm monitoring all the local news stations, and I also have my mods monitoring their feeds as well to find out where this press conference will be streamed from. And I think I've got at least 3 of the local, why does it do that with this? With the local news. I'm not sure why. One of them just, it's got a broken connection. Every time I refresh it, it breaks the connection. I'm not quite sure why, but it does. So I'll just go back here and refresh at their main page. Here we go. Still nothing yet. And we still have about 25 minutes before it starts. If Betty ever answers her phone, hello, I would die. What? Did you call? Well, it is on silent. I'm sorry. Hold on. I don't see any missed calls. Robin. Oh, I would, if Betty answered her phone, hello, I would die. Oh, I got it now. I thought you were saying I was ignoring you. Oh my gosh. Yes, at 5 p.m. today. Let's see what else we have here. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming in. The press conference should be starting at 5 p.m. I've got 3 local news stations that I'm currently monitoring at the moment. So just as soon as they start setting up and I see one of them go live, I will let you know. Oh, I might as well go to, because I know JLR's out there as well. So we can just monitor his page as well, to be honest with you. So YouTube. So at least. Okay, and we got WFLA. I might monitor. I'm going to monitor WFLA. I'm going to mute them. Oh, they're already muted. So at least that triggers me to locate one of the local. I won't run WFLA on my channel if I can all help it, and I'll run a little segment. They don't hit me or anything like that. They've been cool, but I also know what they will do. But this stuff is typically, they don't really for press conferences and stuff, they don't really bother you, but other stuff they do. So we'll just monitor his page until we find it. But we do have 1, 2, 3 different sources for this, and we'll just keep monitoring all of them until we get a live feed. Let's see if there's any other questions. There are 205 here. Yes, guys, don't forget to go out and give a thumbs up for that. That's a lot of money that came in within 49. And it wasn't just that. Like the other associations, the other nonprofits and stuff actually, you know, were running their own campaigns through Cash App, PayPal, and handed that money over to the family. And it's very upsetting that all these people came together with financial resources, and, you know, Crime Stoppers is not planning on refunding that money, and neither is Carly's parents. You know, and this is what really upsets me, because when you do this to people, the next time we need to pool resources and money together, you're not going to have people coming together like this and putting this money out, because what people expect is, if it is a hoax, that people do the right thing and realize that that money does not belong to them and return it. I'm just saying, it's the right thing to do, you know? And for the ones that are anonymous, like with the Crime Stoppers, they said they had a lot of anonymous payments. Well, those had to be paid somehow, and if they were paid by check, don't process the check. Or, you know, if you can't return it, return that to like a nonprofit. But most people put these things on credit cards. Certainly, you can just refund all the credit cards with a push of a button. You don't even need to do anything. You just refund the money. You just, you know, decline all of it. And you can usually, even if you accept it, you can usually decline it later, as long as you're not removing it from a specific account. So I don't know how they're going to do it, but we'll see how they do it. I don't know. BHB. Yeah, I got, you know, there's been things going on, but, you know, for the most part, and I've been sitting home, and you know, I don't usually do the home stuff. You know, I'm usually out in the field, and for the better part of this year, I've been home. So it's kind of sucked. But I think that that's going to be change after this next half of the year. And not only that, but I'm planning on going back to Idaho within the next 30 or so days. I'll be in Idaho, just up there checking around, poking my nose where it doesn't belong, because I can, because it's America and I'm allowed to travel this country freely. So I'll be back there. Well, this is going to be interesting. I can't wait. Me either, because I'm kind of waiting with bated breath, because again, there's a lot of scenarios that could be going on. It might be, but I keep thinking it has to be pertinent to Carly Russell. And if they weren't going to press charges, then they didn't need to immediately do this press conference. They needed to immediately do this press conference because there's about to be a media frenzy, in my opinion, that they're trying to buffer, i.e. that means that she's most likely arrested. We're going to be expecting a mugshot, blah, 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 blah. Because I keep thinking about it. If they weren't going to arrest her, and things like, even with the cash thing, that's the only other thing I can think of, is that reward money that they were getting blown up by everybody on the phones and emails, wanting to know what's going on with that Crime Stoppers money. If they're not going to use it, where is it going? And are they going to be refunding the people back their money? So it could be that would be an urgency, that maybe they don't want to go overnight or whatever. They need to address it. But still, I still think that would be addressable at like a 9 a.m. press conference. I don't understand the urgency of this press conference. It's the fact that this press conference is a last minute press conference. It almost implies that the idea of keeping Carly's arrest a secret is an urgency that would make them have to do a press conference last minute. Because again, we've only heard about this press conference in the last hour, and that's probably why there's not more live streams set up about this, is everybody, especially in their community, is trying to get their equipment together. They're trying to get all this stuff. They're trying to get it loaded, and they're trying to get a crew out to wherever they're having the press conference. And I think that is truly what is going on, and why this has not been set up yet by many of them. because if I just got the information and Olivia's calling me, telling me the same information, I have to think that this was all set up last minute. Sorry, I need some candy. I'm dying. I need some sweets. This is sugar-free. I don't really eat a whole lot of stuff with sugar in it. I do. Like my ice cream it can't be sugar-free. And my chocolate can't be sugar-free. But my hard candy can be sugar-free. So we'll see. Let me see what else we have. Oh, we can do this while we wait. So if you guys don't know, Rex Heuermann has they were excavating his property. I don't think they found anything, but they were excavating his property. So while we're on here, what? Somebody say Olivia. Is Olivia in here? Like in some cases, I think, who was it that just brought that up? Hold on. Yeah, there were certain, I know I did a little video on TikTok about it. So if you guys don't know, here in Florida, in Delray Beach, there were 3 suitcases that were found, and all 3 suitcases had remains in them. And they're investigating that. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. It was a little interesting, but I didn't have a whole lot of time to dive in. But apparently there is a lady that's unidentified. She's either white or Mexican, about approximately 5 foot 4 inches tall, and has brown hair. She was wearing a floral top and like some black, like a black undershirt and black shorts, black shorts. And so if anybody's missing any family here in Florida, or if somebody came to visit, or that just sounds like somebody that you know that might have been, that you haven't seen in a really long time, please reach out to Delray Police Department, Delray Beach Police Department. So I'll be doing something more once I get a little more information on that. Will she be charged? I think so. I really do. Again, I'm just kind of, I monitor, I just don't go by what people say. I monitor the behavior of them. And so I just felt like there was an urgency here to put this out. Like, we didn't know about this. Like, if this was a planned press conference, we would have known about it like at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. saying, we're going to have a press conference at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock. In this case, we're finding out literally an hour and a half before the press conference. That seems almost like an urgent press conference. Otherwise, it usually would wait so they get enough time for media to get there and set up and stuff like that. An hour and a half is really not a whole lot of time when you got huge cameras, tripods, and you have to get a cameraman and a reporter out on scene. Some of those, sometimes it takes, 30, 45 minutes, because sometimes the news is not specifically in that community. Like here in Manatee County, all of our news organizations, news are in Tampa. Tampa's about 45 minutes away from Manatee County. And that's at best. It could be 45 minutes to an hour and a half in the Tampa Bay area. But our news organizations, like, we only have one news organization between, that's notable. And I think it's one news, but it's in Sarasota. And that's the only one. We don't have, everything else is pretty much in Tampa or Fort Myers. All right, let me go ahead and put this up while I monitor. And this is the excavation of Rex Heuermann's property. Not really a whole lot of sound to it, but I'll leave it up for you guys to watch while I'm behind the scenes looking for some information. We're about 14 minutes out. And I'll let you know. We definitely have WFLA that's going to be out there, Channel 8. So at least we'll know what's coming. But I can't believe this. With Rex Heuermann, it's a little scary because he truly is a monster, a sadistic monster. And this morning on our live, if you missed it, you should go back and get it, because there's this one clip in a video, an interview that he had back in 2022. And he talks about this wood making hammer, and the way he talks about it, and talks about how it's persuasive. Knowing who he is, honestly, it gave me chills up and down my back. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you might want to go check out the live from this morning. I go through all that with you. It's been pretty crazy of a case. We now believe that they now believe that there's 4 potential victims in Atlantic City. They believe at least another victim is out in Las Vegas that actually traveled from New York to Las Vegas and disappeared while apparently being in the company of Mr. Rex Heuermann. And we know he has a property in South Carolina, but what they're digging this property up is because they found that he had a soundproof room in the basement. And God knows what they pulled out of that house that we have no clue about. This is a sadistic man that did terrible, cruel, terribly cruel things. They also have ground penetrating radar or sonar. What was debunked, Jason Riddle? I don't think anything was debunked, because that information I'm getting from reliable sources. No soundproof room was found. I'm pretty sure. Authorities reportedly found soundproof room 4 hours ago. All right. Well, yeah, then I'll check that out, because the ones I'm seeing was from 4 hours ago and 6 hours ago. So, and even the Daily Mail has it. Says they found a soundproof room in the basement. A neighbor claimed. So I guess there is a, but I do trust neighbors. Neighbors have the they got the intel, they got the information. When I go into a community, that neighbors are some of the first people I make contact with to see if they would be willing to speak to me. And neighbors have a whole host of information if they're willing to talk to you. So yeah, they would be the ones knowing, because you got to understand this, even if law enforcement isn't telling them what is going on, if they're out there, they are typically listening to other police radios, because they're all kind of plugged in to the same thing. So even the cops that are kind of patrolling the streets to make like doing the crowd control to make sure that the media is standing on the side of the road, it's not getting into the into the street. In some cases, if it's really super busy, they're making sure that all your wheels are off the roadway. You have to be completely in the grass. They're going to make sure that you're completely in the grass, so you're not obstructing any kind of cars or making it unsafe for them to safely pass. A walk-in vault was found. I disagree. What I was told is that it was a padded room that had a vault door on it. So and they said they didn't use vault door, but now that you're saying vault, it makes sense. They said something like a safe door. Like one of the safes, like the big doors on the safe. They said safe door, but it would make sense that that's what they meant by was a vault door. But I don't know. I truly don't. know one way or another. This is claims from somebody else. Obviously, you and I aren't out there, so it's a little difficult to say for sure what we're hearing. We can only go by what, and believe me, Daily Mail gets to the bottom of stuff. I've seen them in action. I've seen I've seen their workers in action. I can tell you that. Their camera crew, their cameraman, definitely. I don't want to say ruthless because it sounds so awful, but they're the bomb. Like they'll sit there for hours. They know how to wait for that shot. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. But they get the shot, they always get the shot. You get what you get, and don't throw a fit. You get what you get and don't throw a fit. Hi, everyone. Have a blessed day. Hey. Let me get over here and just make sure see if anybody is kind of ready if anybody is setting up. Like, I need this to be live. And I still don't have anybody live yet on here. So I'll just keep popping through here and see where we're at. But it should be coming on any minute. We got about 7 minutes, guys. I need my mods to be paying attention to who's live with this coverage. If you guys could, please, that would be great. Because all I can do is monitor until somebody goes live, and I just don't have it. Here we go. We got a live feed. Thank God. All right, guys, it will be starting shortly, so I'll keep this up just to make sure. Maybe turn the. I'm not going to listen to that. So we'll, as soon as it comes live, I'll unmute it and press conference on Fox Now, about 2 minutes. It just said, okay. So everybody, we have a few minutes. If you need to use the restroom, you need to get yourself a drink, go ahead and do that. I will be right back. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to go get myself a soda pop. Did you guys see those yummy, yummy ribs? Did you guys see those yummy, yummy ribs? I made those ribs. I cooked them in the oven for 300 for about 2 hours, I would say. Well, about an hour and a half. And then the last half hour, I just turned the oven off and I just let them sit in there. And then I was firing up the grill in the meantime. And so after I cooked them in the oven for 300 for 2 hours, I threw those bad boys on a charcoal grill. Oh my God. Lordy. I'm hungry. Like, I could eat. I ended up splitting the ribs in half and taking my neighbor over a healthy plate for him to eat. So if you guys don't know, I have a neighbor that every time I'm out of town, he watches my house, he brings in my mail. And every now and again, when we're on live in the middle of the day and you hear the ding dong at my door and I come back in with a plate of food, it's usually him bringing me over a plate of food. So I figured I'd return the favor, but with a home cooked meal. And everybody knows that I cook a lot better. Sorry, neighbor. I'm sorry. But everybody knows I cook better. I always cook better. I'm in there. I can whip that stuff good. Okay. I just saw Ribs look amazing. They did. Oh, it's the the reason why I like the grill to finish it off, because it's that charcoal, that charred, the charred barbecue sauce. I don't know what it is. Like, I could literally just char barbecue sauce and eat it like a chip. I don't know what it is about charred barbecue sauce, and it tastes so good. JLR is there. No, I got it. I've got it already up. We're going to be running this one here today, right there. So they're getting all set up now. They're probably getting their feeds together as we speak. And so as soon as they're up, we'll see it. So I've got it. No, I just checked his. I keep wondering if he might have snuck out of there. Sometimes he does that. He will when things. But I'm sure he's still around. He knew this was coming. We all did. I got to say that this was a lot longer than I expected. Like, I was hearing 2 weeks ago that she was going to be arrested. Maybe not 2 weeks ago. When did she come home? Well, it's been 10 days, right? She came home on the 15th, 9 days. Yeah. So not quite 2 weeks ago, but I was hearing like by day 2 of her being home, or by day 3 of her being home, she was getting arrested. So it was another 6 days after that. So I don't know what. Well, I do kind of know what really took them long. They wanted to make sure that they had a case. So I really do believe they're going to be issuing a press conference of her arrest. I really, for whatever reason, I really do. I really do. Oh, well, thank you, Emma M. God bless you. Late brunch. You guys got to see it. I wish I could blow this up. Like, these ribs were so good and so perfect. I was so proud of myself. Like, usually I smoke ribs, I don't bake them and then grill them. I've never really tried that before, but I heard it would be really, really good. And if you want to know what I put on my my ribs, I put a lot of stuff. I don't know if you guys heard. I've got a friend. It's My Family Seasonings. They're in Publix, and it's my friend's company. And so I actually, for these ribs, I used a spicy mustard. And what the mustard does, now don't worry if you hate mustard, your ribs do not taste like mustard. I promise you, it all cooks off. It is just for flavoring, and it's the why can't I think? I think it's because it's late at night. It's the vinegar in the mustard that really breaks down the meat and the tissue and stuff like that. It makes it fall off the bone. It is really good. And yes, you got it, Sweet Baby Ray's. Actually, I start off with a little bit of a tartar barbecue sauce for the first coat. And it really wasn't a tart barbecue sauce. It was still a sweet barbecue sauce, but it was sticky fingers. It's a little more runny, so it's a thinner layer, but I like doing it with a thinner barbecue sauce because once it makes the Sweet Baby Ray's stick to it so much better. So yes, and yes. So there's actually, I put 2 different barbecue sauces on my presser alert. Yes, I am Team Summer. We've got the in. Thank God. Here we go. It is up, babe. Let's do this thing.
Department. We're here today to provide an update in the Carly Russell investigation. Chief Nick Durzis will read a prepared statement that will provide an update in this case. After reading the statement, we will have time for a few questions related to the case. Keep in mind, this is still an ongoing investigation, and there are some questions we simply cannot answer at this point. With that, I'll turn it over to Chief Durzis.
Thank you, Captain. Yes. Good afternoon. Thanks to everyone for attending again today. I want to thank the members of our department and all of law enforcement who played a role in the investigation of this case. Last Wednesday, July 19th, we held a press conference and provided you with the facts of the Carly Russell disappearance. We told you the investigation was ongoing. We helped you determine where Carly was during the 49 hours of her disappearance. Today, I've talked to and received a statement from Mr. Emery Anthony, attorney for Carly Russell. Mr. Anthony has scheduled a meeting for Carly to meet with investigators early this afternoon but then I received an email stating that a statement was being provided by him on her behalf. Mr. Anthony asked that I read the statement in its entirety, which I will do now. My client has given me permission to make the following statement on her behalf. There was no kidnapping on Thursday, July 13th, 2023. My client did not see a baby on the side of the road. My client did not leave the Hoover area when she was identified as a missing person. My client did not have any help in this incident, but this was a single act done by herself. My client was not with anyone or any hotel with anyone from the time she was missing. My client apologizes for her actions to this community, the volunteers who were searching for her, to the Hoover Police Department and other agencies as well, as to her friends and family. We ask for your prayers for Carly as she addresses her issues and attempts to move forward, understanding that she made a mistake in this matter. Carly, again, ask for your forgiveness and prayers. We have a meeting scheduled with Mr. Anthony to further discuss this case. We're currently in discussions with the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office in Bessemer about possible criminal charges related to this case, and we will announce those charges when and if they are filed.
All right, with that, we'll take a few questions. As Officer Hale said, when I call on you, please state your name and your affiliation. Yes, sir.
Keith Mims, WAGG 610 100.1 FM Summit Media. Chief, do we at this time, or does the Hoover Police Department know the whereabouts of Carly Russell during that 49-hour period that she was supposedly missing?
Now, as I said the other day, was talking facts and everything. If I said anything today, would just be speculation. Actual facts, we do not.
Aaron Llewellyn, WBC 13. Can you tell us what her motivation was for doing this, if you can?
I wish I could tell you. I think only Carly knows, and maybe her attorney now. But again, the statement that we received from him does not indicate any.
Ricky GM, WBRC, can you give us an idea of what charges you may be filing against her?
That would strictly be up to the district attorney's office.
David Lamb, CBS 42.
Scheduled with the attorney, and that will take place some point tomorrow.
And there is no meeting with Carly Russell or her family at this point?
Not scheduled, no, sir.
Bria Chapman with Fox 6. What's next to close this investigation?
Well, again, we want to talk to Mr. Anthony tomorrow and see if he has any more to discuss about the case. We'll certainly be asking if we'll get an opportunity to again interview Carly like we've wanted to since she returned.
Chief Stephen Quinn, ABC 3340.
Yes, sir.
Your reaction now, knowing that Carly has admitted that this was made up?
Well, I'm glad that we got this. You know, we certainly laid the facts out to you guys and to the national media that had a lot of interest in this particular case. The sad thing is that again, there were so many people that were involved, took this thing very, very seriously, and again, we wanted the focus to be bringing her home. She got home. We're very excited about that. It is what it is. The facts, I think, last Wednesday pretty much showed that we knew that it was a hoax.
Lisa Crane with WDTM 13. Do you know the expense you went to during this search? And if you don't have a dollar figure for us, just how big it was for you guys?
Well, it was all hands on deck, and we don't have a dollar figure yet, but we're certainly working towards getting one, and not only ours, but there'll be other agencies that had a lot of support that they gave us and had monetary expenses themselves.
Jonathan, with JLR investigates, are the parents under any investigation?
You know, as I said the other day, we were going to try to determine exactly those 49 hours. So right now, you know, anything's on the table. We still don't know what happened in those 49 hours, where she was. Did she have any help? We have no idea. You know, I read the statement from Mr. Anthony. That's all we know.
Keith Mims, WAGG 610 Summit Media. Chief, let me ask you this. What do you think prompted or provoked Carly to do this kind of thing? And are there any kind of mental issues that the police department or the public should be concerned about, or just what?
You know, not that I'm aware of. I mean, it's, this is this was elaborate deal. I mean, when you talk about calling a 911 and being up on the interstate, Again, it would all be conjecture. So really, I don't know. I was hoping that we'd have an opportunity to interview and we'd be able to ask her those questions.
Were any others involved in putting this story together for her?
Mr. Anthony, in his statement, says there was not.
Right here.
Liviana Calmes, WBRC, Fox 6 News. You said that you had a meeting scheduled and it kind of switched into a statement. Did they give any type of reason that switched?
No, they did not.
Back here.
Aaron Llewellyn, WB Team 13. Was not in custody right now.
That is correct. That is correct.
Last question with David.
David Lamb, once again. So first of all, when did you actually see this letter? And second of all, do these admissions and the content of the letter alter the investigation at all?
No, not at all. We'll continue to investigate. We're still trying to determine where she was during those 49 hours. But I am glad that we received this. It at least puts some of the social media super sleuths hopefully at rest for a little bit as far as the conjecture of what everybody thinks took place. We know that by her own admission, it didn't happen. And, we're thankful for that.
All right. Thank you guys very much.
I didn't realize I was muted. Oh my God. JLR, Lord have mercy. And he had a great question. Are the parents under investigation as well? They're not really, you're still holding a lot to their chest. They decided to do this press conference to let everybody know that she finally acknowledged that this is a hoax. I about came unglued when he said hoax. It came out of the chief of police, and he said some other things that basically said, look, it really isn't up to me. There were other outside resources that came in here. She is getting arrested. They keep alleging like this, and they're looking at the dollar figure. Like, she's going to have restitution here. I think the attorney decided he needed to come out with this because they just need to get it over with. If they keep expending resources going down this avenue of this abductor, then she's going to have even more penalty on her to keep the charade up, to keep the lying going. And there is not a stitch in my mind that truly believes she acted alone in this. Like, where was she? And still not making herself available to law enforcement. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So they definitely said they still don't know. I truly do not believe that they don't know. This man is a seasoned police chief. Okay, I'm pretty sure he's worked his way up from the ground up. This man had a poker face. This is the police chief. If you do not think this police chief has the answers, he has the answers. He knows what he's allowed to say and what he should not be allowed to say. That man had a poker face. And I do believe that they're just trying to get Carly to come in. I think once Carly comes in, that's it. She's done. As soon as they have her in that police department to question her, she's going to jail. That is what I believe. That is truly, truly, truly what I believe. If she goes to that police department to give them a statement with or without her attorney, it doesn't matter which, she's going to jail. That's my prediction. I think she's going to jail in the next 72 hours anyways. And the reason why I say that is because I have a funny feeling when they meet with her attorney tomorrow, they will be advising her attorney that she is going to be arrested for this crime. I do believe that they've already talked to law enforcement about possible criminal charge, or not law enforcement, but the state attorney about possible criminal charges. I think their hands are tied because they're not going to be able to, think about it. If they're looking for restitution, they're not going to be able to force her to pay that restitution without charging her. That would be part of the penalty phase of her conviction and the restitution. So they, I really truly believe that, this is not going to be, well, if you just pay us back all the money you owe us. I think what we're going to find out is that there was hundreds of thousands of dollars expended on this. And I don't think she's going to have the ability. And her parents, why would her parents saddle themselves with hundreds of thousands of dollars of financial burden when their daughter's an adult? it would be much easier for their 25-year-old daughter to take on that burden of financial cost. And if she can't afford to pay it, then she needs to file bankruptcy and liquidate her Mercedes. Like if I was her parents, her Mercedes would already be sold. Like I'm telling you, would already be sold. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It would already be sold. And if she didn't want to sell it, if it was in her name and she did not want to sell it, then she better go live in it, because you getting up out of my house. You getting up out of my house. You embarrassed the whole entire family. You have humiliated me. You've cost this family embarrassment. You cost this family shame. You cost this family financially. You know, I'm sorry. You're selling that car, or you're going to live in that car. You take your pick. But those are your two options. Because you ain't living here if that car's out front. I don't know what else to tell you, babe. Anyways, good press conference. Let's see what happens tomorrow. I'm glad they got that statement from Carly. You know, I called for this morning about, or maybe it was yesterday. I can't remember. My days run together. I've been so busy. You know, I called for her to take responsibility. And this ain't going away until she comes out and apologizes. Why she didn't? Well, she didn't come out and apologize. This is as close as we're going to probably get to an apology from her. And it sounds like through the help of her attorney, she has taken responsibility, or at least the first steps of taking responsibility for her actions. So I definitely hope that this is a positive step forward. For me, this helps me. I know it because I know attorneys, and I really truly believe he helped her come to this conclusion. Jonathan will be stalking her. Yeah, no, he keeps it legal. He keeps it legal. So, I'm not too worried about him, but, the law's the law. If, you can't be offended if people decide to follow the law just because you don't, not that you don't like it, May, not, I'm not trying to pick on you or anything like that. But for those other people out there, how can you fault somebody for following the law? If you don't like it, that's, it's more, listen, it's lawful. In some of the situations, I don't care about, and I know Jonathan doesn't either. I don't care about somebody's thought. I care about putting my eye on where I need to go and going for that. And Jonathan is a lot like that. He's very disciplined, and but he keeps it all legal. He keeps it all legal, and he conducts himself in a professional manner. And just because you're loud and you're controversial doesn't mean you're not professional. You can be both. You can be both. And we prove it every single day. We prove it every single day. So there you guys have it. She lied. Police chief called it a hoax. Everybody that needed the police chief to call it the hoax so people can actually know what to think now. Now you can think it's a hoax for all those naysayers out there, okay? The police chief told you you can think that way. So now you can think that way. I'm sorry. All right. I'm sorry. There was, you know what? I want you guys to see this because I think this explains it. Some people, they're like, I hate her. And I want you guys to watch this. I want you guys to see this. Let me see. Where is it? I remember downloading it. Let me find it. Which one is it? There it is. That's the one. Let me move this. Send this to the computer. Send it over here. We upload it here. You wonder how all this bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom, But I think this really does kind of, explain a lot. I think it really does. It's almost ready. Here, I want you guys to watch.
I don't enjoy hurting people. I don't enjoy seeing people hurt. I don't enjoy saying things that make people feel bad. That isn't inherent to who I am. But I value truth and love more than making people feel good temporarily. That to me is a bigger issue. And it's simple. Would I want somebody to tell me what I wanted to hear if it wasn't the truth? No. I'd be pissed. That's not my friend. My friend tells me the truth first. That's what I want in my own life. Good friends, tell me that. I'm more concerned if you're afraid to tell people the truth because of what they think of you. Like, what kind of friends do you have?
Just saying. Just saying. So I get a lot of powerful messaging, I really do. I listen to a lot of stuff. I listen to a lot of people that inspire us to do better, that, teach us how to be more productive, that tell us, how to get the noise out of our life. I'm constantly trying to find ways to improve and better myself and leave all the noise behind. I can't help who is jealous of me. And let's be honest, somebody that stalks you for 2 years is either obsessed or jealous or a little bit of both. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, right? When you follow and hop and follow creator from one thing to another for the sole purpose of trying to get their attention. And when you don't get their attention, you go after them even harder and harder and harder and harder. Well, I don't listen to any of that. I've got to keep the noise out. And that's why we have moderators and why we work so very hard to keep all the crap out of our chat room. So anyways, guys, I hope you are having a wonderful day. We'll keep it real here. Oh, Crime Doll, I was looking at, and I'm sorry because so when I'm on my live, I very rarely read the comments section, and you had a great question. And I forgot what it was, but I'm like, I can't believe I missed that. And it was on the last live. Either way, I also wanted to give a shout out to Sonia because she gifted 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships, and I didn't even see it. I had no earthly idea that it even happened. And so I wanted to make sure she got a shout out because, I didn't give her a shout out earlier, and I know some people have been doing stuff. So I'm trying to get better to make sure because I got into not looking, and so I want to make sure you guys get your credit. Thank you for helping support Bullhorn Betty, and God bless each and every one of you. But what a bombshell today. Carly Russell finally admitting she lied about it all. I'm going back and bouncing. What does it say? Bouncing to listening now because I'm closing my eyes trying to sleep before work at 10. Well, don't worry, Crime Doll. We're going out. And I believe there's something going on tonight. I remember hearing about it, but I forgot what it is. So anyways, guys, have a great night. God bless each and every one of you. Until next time, please be safe and kind to one another. Bye.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.